Hey guys, welcome to my review video for Season 2, Episode 7 of Little Women Atlanta. Before I get started, I just want to say this will act like a spoiler if you haven't seen the episode yet, so you might want to watch this later. If you want to see my previous review video, you can click on the link in the description. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Now let's get on with the review. The name of this episode was Sister Act. So in the episode, it begins with Money and Moreland, and she's talking about how last time she said she was accused of not being a little person by Minnie, and she said that hurt her, and she also brought up how before that, Minnie also said that since she's not like really a little person, she's just short, she doesn't belong in the little group of girls and whatnot, belong in the group with the girls. And Money brings up that how she could have said something to Minnie. She could have said that Minnie's bigger than everyone else and the biggest in the group physically, and she doesn't belong with them. But yeah, I don't know why she brought that up, but yeah. Then Moreland says that the reason why Minnie said that is probably because she's upset because Money is having a better friendship with Juicy, because Money and Minnie haven't really been cool on the coolest terms lately, because Money can't trust her and stuff. And Money says that it wouldn't hurt to find out what kind of dwarfism she has, because her son might want to have kids someday. Her son Derek, I forgot how old he is. Is he like 9 or 10? Yeah, so he needs to know if he carries the dwarfism gene if he wants to have kids, So yeah. Then they show Bree and Money at a dance class, and a little Zumba dance class. And they start doing the moves and whatnot. They kind of struggle a little with the dance, but even though they catch on, they still struggle a little. But they had fun. They worked up a little sweat or whatnot. Yeah. So then they sit down. Excuse me. Then they sit down, and Money tells Bree about how she reached out to her half-sister. And, yeah, I guess she wanted to reach out to her half-sister so she can find out more about her father. And she says that her and her father talk to each other on and off. Because, remember, it was revealed, remember last season when she did the DNA test with her father? And the test said it was 99.99999% her father. So, yeah, and he didn't really seem so happy when he got the results. When she told him the results, and he was like, okay. Remember that? Remember that last season? So, yeah, their relationship is kind of shaky because, Minnie is trying to, build a relationship with her father because she never had a relationship with her father. And Bree suggests that Minnie invite her sister over to Atlanta. And then Minnie's like, cool, yeah, I think so. I think that's a good idea. So, yeah. We'll resume with that later. Next, Andrea and Chris have a pregnancy photo shoot before Andrea gives birth. And Andrea says that it's nice that her and Chris are doing something besides fighting, because, they've been arguing lately. And then Andrea gets a FaceTime call from her sister Amanda, who is checking up on her, even though they're still kind of mad at each other because of the argument they had last episode. Remember that? When they got into that heated argument talking about Chris and stuff. And then Amanda hangs up on her and stuff. She's like, girl, I gotta go. And then Amanda tries to FaceTime Andrea again after she got hung up on. And then Andrea's like, let me turn this phone on silent. That's not okay. Because people fail to realize that not picking up the phone stuff works two ways. That's rude. So then Chris and Andrea take cute little pictures and stuff. And then after they take pictures, they start talking about Amanda. And Chris says that Amanda is in their business, and he says that she needs to back off of them. Andrea says that her sister might be jealous of her and Chris because he's been around lately, and she thinks he's gonna be there for the birth, and of their second child. And remember how they said that how she said that Chris wasn't there for the birth of Andre, but Amanda was. So yeah, so I think Amanda feels like they're kind of being split apart because of Chris. You know, they don't get to be that close. Look at me using fingers. Yeah. Next, then I'm sorry. Minnie talks with her mother. She wants to catch up with her mother while doing her mother's hair. And then Minnie tells her mother that she reached out and talked to her half sister, and she's thinking about inviting her out to see her in Atlanta. And Tammy, her mother, says that she doesn't know. Says that Minnie doesn't know her, and inviting her over to Atlanta is like totally different than talking on the phone. And she says, "What if they don't get along? What if you guys don't get along?" But regardless of all that, she said, she gives her daughter the green light to invite her to Atlanta. So then after that, Minnie goes outside and calls her half sister on the phone, and she invites her to come and visit her to Atlanta. And her half sister says yes, and she's all delighted to go. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so her sister's going to Atlanta. Yeah. Next, Juicy meets up with her publicists, Jay and I didn't get the name of the other one, publicist. They start talking about her little stuff and whatnot. And some magazine company wants to do a feature of her in their magazine. And she also offered to introduce Bree and Amanda to her publicists so that they can get opportunities to perform, because since their performing partners are not in a position to perform at the moment. Yeah, so they come into the restaurant and whatnot. They get introduced to the publicists and stuff. And they start talking. They start telling them a little about themselves. They say, "Oh, I'm right cheek. Oh, I'm one of the tiny twins," and whatnot. And they say that they twerk at clubs and stuff like that. And then one of them asks, "Oh, are you a stripper?" Hold up. Yeah, one of them asks if she's a stripper. And they're like, "No." And they ask, and they get asked, do they dance with fire or silk strings? And they're like, "No." And then they showed Amanda on the commentary chair or whatever, and she said she really just asked us if we were strippers, like, and we're not. And she said, "We're not circus freaks dancing with fire and stuff. We twerk. Even though we might show a little bit of booty, we not strippers, but we just twerk." You know? Then after that, Juicy invites them to go to see the sermon at her church. And she feels like that'll be good for them, because, you know, she said that they need church. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Then we go back to Minnie. Minnie's sister finally comes to Atlanta so she can meet. She goes outside and they hug each other. And her half-sister's name is Shelly. And they get all emotional and stuff when they meet each other. And then they sit down. And then Minnie says that getting emotional runs in the family, because they started crying a little when they hugged each other and they first met. You know? And then Tammy's mother comes in, and then Tammy meets Shelly, and then they start talking now. And Shelly said that it was unfair how she felt it was unfair how she got to have a relationship with her father and Minnie didn't. And then the big reveal, she says something really important pertaining to Minnie and her relationship with her father. Shelly said that Minnie's grandmother said to her dad that Minnie wasn't his daughter, and that's how the denial got started. Even though, hold up. Yeah, that's how the denial got started. So I guess since he hurt Minnie's dad, I'm sorry. Yeah, Minnie's dad heard that from his own mother. He probably thought that it was true because it was coming from his mother. Ain't that something? Ain't that about a yeah. Anyway, Minnie says she's still gonna try to achieve a relationship with her father, and she said that if she gets hurt, it will happen, and she's gonna take a leap of faith. And Tammy said that she doesn't want her to get hurt. Her mother, Tammy, doesn't want Minnie to get hurt. So yeah. Then Money, Moreland, and Juicy go to the doctor so Money can find out if she's a little person. And she gets blood drawn. She doesn't like needles. You know, she just didn't like the needles. She tried to get up and run away when they took out the needle. She started crying a little. I feel you, Minnie. I had that. There was a time in my life where I didn't like needles anyway. But yeah, I feel your pain, girl. And she gets her blood drawn. Then the doctor comes in. And he measures her hand and stuff like that. And it is revealed that Money does have a type of dwarfism. And he also says that the results will be in a few weeks. So I was hoping we were going to find out what kind of dwarfism she had this episode, but of course they would make that revealed in another episode. Yeah, so we're going to find out in a future episode. And then Juicy tells Money not to bring up her dwarfism to the girls and to not act a fool. And Minnie's like, okay. Then after that, Juicy goes to church and she invites Amanda and Bree and Minnie, and Minnie's half sister Shelly to her church. And Juicy says that they need that service and whatnot. And then they start showing the singing and you know the music and stuff. And then the pastor starts talking about fathers and taking care of the families, etc. And Minnie says that it's a coincidence how he brought that up, and when he said that it was kind of hitting her heart, and she starts crying a little. So yeah. Then they go out to drinks after that. All the girls go out for drinks. And then Juicy mentions how as little people they need to stick together even when they don't get along that well, whatnot. And then Minnie was like, "Oh, speaking of unity and stuff like that, she thought that she should go and call her dad." So her and Shelly go over to the side to another table and they call her dad. And yeah, Minnie said that she wants to see him and he's down to see her. He said he's cool. Yeah, cool. Okay, we can make that happen. And then their dad said that he loves them, and Minnie said that she felt like she was part of like a real family talking to him with her sis. And she felt also when he said that he loved them that was like a big step. So yeah, I hope they do have a good daughter-father relationship. Yeah. And then back at the table with everybody else, Amanda says that her and her sister aren't on good terms at the moment, and she feels like Chris is taking her away from her sister. Yeah. And Juicy says that Amanda should talk to her sister because they have a special bond that her and Chris do not have. Pardon me. Then after that, they show Amanda going over to her sister's apartment to talk to her. And then this guy, Chris says, "Oh, you can't go in there right now." That's her sister. You should be able to let her talk to her sister. And he said, oh, you can't go in there because she's been having contractions. And the doctor said, she's on bed rest and she can't be stressed. Oh, so when did you care about her stress? Because last episode, we heard that you were arguing with her at home and I'm sorry. Because last time, I'm sorry, this isn't funny. I don't think any of this is funny. Because last time, we heard that you were arguing with her in the ER while she was having contractions.
Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah. Yeah. Then, after that, Amanda said that she would go through a brick wall to see her sister. And then Chris, being all messy, I don't know if he was being messy or not, but I still think that was messy. Chris said, oh, Andrea doesn't want you in the delivery room. And then after that, Amanda barges through and goes into the room to talk to her sister. And he says, she's like, hey, what's up? And Andrea says that Chris isn't, they start talking, and Andrea says that Chris is not taking her away from, I'm confused. Someone's not getting taken away thanks to Chris. Let me just say that. And Amanda says that she wasn't answering her calls and stuff. And then she starts comparing her and Jordan's relationship to the situation. I guess she compared her relationship with Jordan to Amanda and I'm confused, and their sisterhood. Yeah. And then they start arguing a little bit. And then Andrea mentions how Chris said that Andrea didn't want Amanda in the delivery room. And then Amanda starts crying and said they need to stick together. And then after that, Amanda leaves, and then Andrea starts crying. And then Amanda walks out, and Chris is just out there mopping. And he was like, I knew this would happen. That's pretty long. Shut up, Peter. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, that's the end of the episode. So, yeah. So, I'm going to tell you guys what happens next time. Next time on Little Women Atlanta, Minnie's boss puts her on arranges a blind date for her. What else? That's all I know. That's all I remember about what's gonna happen next time. But they showed a season preview. It looks pretty interesting to me. In the preview, I saw a fight was taking place at Malik, who is Bree's son's birthday party, and his cake gets all messed up. Come on now, why y'all fighting at a 3-year-old's birthday party? That's not okay. That's not okay. And then Money gets into it with some other little person who gets introduced to the group and whatnot, and they throwing water and stuff on each other. And Andrea has her baby. She looks so cute. They didn't show her face, but she looked just like a little perfect little package. She was so small, all wrapped up in her little blanket. Yeah. And sure enough, her and Chris get into an argument, and I guess Chris walks out, and they show, I guess, one of them chasing him in the parking lot. I don't know, but yeah. I really hope that this season has more episodes than the last one, because I've been seeing some interesting stuff, and I can't wait to see how that stuff came to be. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. Yeah. I just want to say I'm sorry if this video seemed boring and like less engaging, because I'll be having drawing blanks and stuff. And thanks to my stupid computer, I can't edit in any of this. So yeah. thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter at ILU more than this because I like to. I'm sorry. Follow me on Twitter at ILU more than this because I like to tweet during the show about Little in Atlanta. Thumbs up if you liked it, even though I thought this video was kind of crappy myself. Yeah, thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe to me if you haven't. Check out my previous review videos. I made a special playlist just for my Little Women in Atlanta Season 2 reviews. Yeah, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.